It's a great day to be a Team Heretics fan, and it's about to get even better because we have VIT here joining us to break down everything we just saw on that match, and Billy as well. First of all, massive congratulations. You guys had a great win this week. I kind of asked Miniboo this already a little bit in that post-match interview because Neil told us that you just had no time to prep for the first game last week. Have you had more time to prep, and has all of that prep time been put into Abyss?
Actually, we worked so hard this week. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was insane. We worked like 9-10 hours every day in this week. I think, yeah, we prepared everything. We were ready to win every map. So it's happened.
We saw that. We definitely saw that on stage. And also your coach had a little bit to say about you and Boo and why you decided to swap around a little bit with the controller and initiator. We have that quote right now we're going to bring up in a second. But to paraphrase what Neil said here, actually to read it out verbatim, it comes down to maps. Any maps that requires lineups, VIT is not a big fan and he loves smoke. So you can defend yourself. We're going to give you the stage to debunk some rumors.
It's completely true.
It's completely true.
It's completely true. If there is lineup, I'm done. Like, I'm not playing.
What? But like any lineup on any agent? Oh my goodness.
So that's why you like Teo, right? Because it's just point and click.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like, I hate it.
So that rules out a lot of agents, though. But you're like such a super flex player.
I mean, I'm playing, but I'm just playing on purpose, so I'm not getting tilted. But I mean, I am fine to play, but if I don't, I'm way better. So why would I play?
I would like to dig a bit deeper into this. How do you learn lineups? So what is your routine? Do you have like a Discord with all the lineups in? Do you watch other people?
I'm not Benji fishy. Like Benji has tons of lineups in this Discord, like Boo same, Ryan same. But I don't have any lineup. I don't have any like holder. Like, I don't have anything. I'm just trying to remember before the games. I'm just going map, trying, and if I remember, I remember. If I don't, I don't.
Have you ever made it up on the spot? Have you ever been like, this might work, let me just throw shock dart here or something, see what happens?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's not like completely.
Does this mean that we'll never see you on a Brimstone or a Viper then?
Yeah. That's completely true.
Okay, I'm glad that we have that. I'm glad we have that. Speaking of the Viper, very nice segue. Let's take a look at your Lotus comp because I've been kind of a #1 Viper Lotus simp since day one, and you guys stuck with the Viper last year when a lot of teams moved away from the Viper, and now you've joined them. You've moved away. Why?
I don't think Viper is strong anymore because first of all, everyone knows how to play against Viper. Like, it's not hard that much. Also, I think this comp way better than Viper. For example, if you put Astra out and put Viper in, I don't think it's gonna make it better. I think it's gonna make it worse because Astra can smoke everywhere, every time, but Viper has just one wall, one smoke. And I mean, before the Viper nerf, I think it was great. We could play again, but now it's unplayable.
So never again then, we feel like? Not
never again,
but like,
never again, yeah.
in the near future, maybe not again. In the near future, maybe not again. And also, Miniboo stood on stage just now and said very confidently, we are going to win Kickoff. That trophy is coming home. Can you also give us the same confidence when it comes to that? Make the fans happy, you know?
Yeah, we will win Kickoff 100%, 100 million%. We're going to win it so easily, 13-0, 13-0 every map.
Yeah.
We're not going to even lose round. We're not going to even lose map. And we will just go to final.
Yeah, and then you're going to go to Bangkok and do that to EDG, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the exact same thing. Can we clip that and whip it out for when they do make the finals? But this is the thing. In order to do that, you have to get past one of the teams that is playing up next, of course. That is FUT versus Team Vitality. This is arguably the two super teams. You know, we're talking about it in this region. And Billy, I want to start with FUT because I think people are underestimating, underrating, and disrespecting them a little bit because everyone's saying Vitality is the super team. Heretics, they get that label as well. I think FUT is also a super team.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you, I don't think. I think when you compare the two, you know, you kind of have to kind of put Vitality in that box. They've picked up 2 players. They picked up Darker, unless it's obviously going to be quoted as that. But when I consider FUT, they've only made 1 change, which is Zeus, right? So when I think about FUT, I just think that, you know, they were so consistent last year. The only teams really that were able to beat them were Fnatic, were yourselves, Team Heretics. So I think that they're in with a good shot.
Would you also say that, VUT, how highly would you place FUT?
I think they're top 3 in EMEA every season consistently. So they're really good. I think FUT is gonna win, not gonna lie.
Oh, you mean this match?
Yeah, this
Oh,
match.
I thought you meant the whole tournament. I was like, no,
of course
you're
not.
going to win the whole tournament. Okay, and when it comes to why you think maybe they're going to win this match, this is the problem, though. They are always top 3, right? They're always third, let's be honest. They don't even make a final. I think last stage, I was expecting them to make a final, at least as stage 2. Why do you think that is, having played against them? Because you guys never have any problems against this team.
Okay, they're decent, but they're never being better than other teams, you know, like they're never being than top 2. They're always losing the top 2 team, but they're winning so hard the other matches. So that's why they're always top 3. I think it's a bit like, I don't know, like sometimes unlucky, sometimes like happens. But I think this season they might play final against us. Who knows? I think, especially for this game, they're gonna win. 2-0, I think.
Oh, wow,
That's
you're
a very early
confident.
prediction, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I think one of their biggest win conditions and obviously one of the longest standing players in all of our league is Krax. He's been here since day 1. He is not going anywhere and he's still playing the KO. And I love the way that he's playing the KO because as we take a look at this graphic behind me, towards the end of last year, as some of the map pool were changing and Gecko coming out being so dominant, he kind of got put onto that Gecko duty, got taken out of the KO. Of course, you guys know exactly what Icebox means. I've seen it on VLR, all about Icebox. But Billy, are we happy that he's kind of been brought back into this team as this KO mainstay again?
Yes, absolutely. I love Krax on the KO. I think you're right. We've seen him kind of move on to that Gecko for a lot of the last portion of last year, but that was because he was playing that on the Ascent, on the Icebox. Those 2 maps are gone now. We're seeing him back onto this KO. And I think that the Gecko, they leaned into so much because Sunset as well was in the map pool, right? We've seen so many compositions with the Gecko in there, and they were leaning into that meta pretty heavily. So, yeah, no, I think it's a nice and welcome change that we get to see him back on the KO.
I bet he knows lineups. I bet he loves lineups as well.
I don't care.
I'm kidding. But the times you've played against Krax, what do you make of him? Because we talk about Turkish players, you know, like CNED, Alphia that's been here. I don't think he gets talked about enough. He's also been here, you know, since day 1.
It's just fade off being initiator, not gonna lie. I'm saying like when I was Duelist, people were talking about me. When I was like initiator, people are not talking because that's the way how game works. Like you cannot be star that much when you are playing flex, initiator, or like smoke. It's so hard. Like you have to drop like 30 every map for.
Yeah, I agree with you. But when it comes to the initiators, what is it that you feel like people should talk about? What is it about initiating?
Rians.
Oh no, I mean I don't mean yes, Rians, but I mean like the agent and playing these agents. What is it that you feel like people should be looking out for?
I mean, it's so hard. Not gonna lie, 90% of this game is below like platinum. So of course it's gonna be hard to understand. They're gonna just see the kills in the game, you know, like they're gonna see like if I kill, I don't know, like so hard, like so good, like flick shots, like or sprays, they're gonna talk about it. But if I don't, like they will not. But when I do, like for example, when I do some good flash, insane flash for my teammates, and they can get like 4K with my just one flash. And they're not gonna talk about flash. They will talk about the 4K. Who is getting the 4K? Okay,
guys, I need you to look out for Krax's flashes today, okay? And also VUTs in the next game.
I think as well, though, that's a really good point because whenever we watch FUT, very rarely do they have their utility out. They're usually taking gunfights, and it's because they're so mechanically gifted that they can just run out. If they're going in for a retake as well, we've seen it the other day, or last week, sorry, where they weren't getting ready to take with utility. They were never caught with a bit of utility in their hands. They had their guns out. They were going in all guns blazing. I'm going to counter that with Mr. Farland's Tejo, because he was giving us some beautiful Tejo play. At this point, Billy, I would say he's definitely top 2, maybe even number 1 when it comes to the best Tejo players we've seen so far. Honestly, his Tejo has been absolutely incredible, and I picked out a couple of rounds for us to look at in particular. I mean, this round 3, FUT were able to take control of the extremities just from using this utility dump on A main, right? You've got the Astra Smoke, you've got Fade Seeds, you've got a Yoru Flash and a Tejo utility going in there, and it allows him to fight for the orb, which was really interesting, and you can see how far away he was when he's setting that up. But this round, round 12 in particular, it shows their defensive protocols, right? And those kind of IGL instincts that Mr. Fallen has, the way that he stuns into the smoke, he's able to take the fight. Yeah, no, dropping that Armageddon as well before Team Liquid even come out and try and take the site. I just think, yeah, him being on this agent as an IGL has been really impressive to me so far.
I mean, Gaius has done some kooky stuff in the past. Some of the comms, we're kind of left feeling like, why are they doing this? But everything they've done so far here in that one match we saw has been great. But is it good enough to go up against Team Vitality? Because as we know, again, a team as an org haven't won anything in EMEA, but this is the team that they kind of in the off-season assembled with a purpose, right? But when you see the players that join here, you know, Les and Durka, does it give you the feeling that it is a real super team?
I mean, superstars teams are never work, like never ever. So, I mean, I said in some of interviews, I think they're gonna be the, I mean, there is no middle for them, like they're gonna be the last or first. There is no middle choices. So it's so hard, like it's so hard to play this under pressure. But I think they're really experienced players, so they might achieve that. But even second place is not enough for them.
I agree. I completely agree. And here's the thing, though. Safe is IGLing. We do wonder if he can maybe lead the team into that first place. And of course, there are things that are just predictable in life. And as IGLs go, you don't normally, you know, think, oh yeah, this IGL is going to play ISO. Probably not on your card. But Billy, with this guy, that's fine. He can do that.
Yeah, I think as well, though, when I seen it, I was like, okay, they've just yoinked Fnatic's comp. Like, okay, whatever, we're going to get to see the ISO on Haven. But I think for me as well, for someone that used to play sort of site anchor agents such as the Viper, such as the Killjoy, you know, like seeing him on this is really unusual for me. But
really?
Yeah, honestly, it is just because I'm so used to seeing him on site anchors, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I don't hate it either. I don't hate it.
I feel like it's not weird for me at all because he's been that player that's like, I'll play the duelist. Like, I could do that. Like, you want me to? I can. His Jet back in the day is legendary, and sometimes he just wants to do it. The Tejo, I think, was also really good. We haven't had too much time to talk about it, but we will, I suspect. But for now, it's time to bring the teams onto stage and find out which one of them will be going up against Team Heretics in the next round. So without further ado, here is Team Vitality and FUT.
With me.
There's only enough room for one super team on this stage, but today we're gonna have a showdown between Team Vitality and FUT. Coming into this map, Vito, oh, okay, FUT, they just don't wanna go into the ISO Yoru stuff, I guess, Billy. What do you think of this?
Yeah, completely taking it away from them. And Bind as well, another interesting pick from FUT. I'm really curious to see what they've actually cooked up on that map. And yeah, Split as well coming into play. FUT deciding to ban out Fracture. They do not want to go there. And Lotus is the decider.
Any surprises for you, FUT, here, looking at this?
No, because I don't know what's the other map pool of teams.
Okay.
That's an idea.
It's okay. I could give you a bit of a rundown here. I mean, FUT, they did not ban Haven last week, and they banned the Bind, I think it was. So it feels like they're actually in a pretty good spot where they're just banning what their opponents are good at. They're like, we don't want to play against this comp from you. We're very flexible. Doesn't feel like they have a permaban. Vitality did ban Pearl before. I don't think we were going to see Pearl at all today. But Billy, as you said, the bind, it is interesting. They must have seen something that makes them feel like it's safe to go there.
Yeah, I think so. I think the fact that we've already seen Vitality play bind and FUT are just like, okay, well, we're going to pick into that. They've obviously seen something that they think that they can obviously counter or abuse. They have that material now that they can go back and anti. So yeah, I think that's an interesting one for me, is FUT just deciding to pick right into that.
Yeah, and when it comes to the agents they might be running, I mean, we had a little bit of chat about Cracks being back on that KO duty. We have seen a lot of teams, they do like to pick KO on bind. It's not weird anymore. It's not really a crazy pick here. What would you like to see, though, Vo? Do you think the Gecko is still kind of a no-brainer here?
I think I think bind never changed. Like, new agents are, playable, like Vice, Deadlock, or Teo, but I think the old comps are still working, so they might run with the old comps. It's gonna work.
Yeah, and the old comp also had a Viper in it too on that bind. So let's take a look at the agent select and see what we are going to get. It's back, the Fallen Taeho back. They keep the Viper, and Billy, yes, Cracks will pick the KO.
Yeah, Cracks is picking that KO up. And what I think is interesting here is both teams have decided to go for that double controller composition, which, of course, as you said, we've seen so many teams starting to pick up that Vice, starting to pick up that Deadlock, but no Sentinels across either sides this time.
Yeah, we do also have to quickly talk about Zeus versus Durka. VUT, I know you think FUT are going to come out of this, but not many people can diff Durka.
I mean, yeah, but I think this is the people who is going to diff Durka.
Yeah, you think Zeus can do it?
Yeah.
I mean, Yutajay said that Zeus is the best Turkish player right now. Do you agree?
Yeah, after Rians, he is.
After Rians. But what about you, Billy? You feel like this Zeus versus Durka head-to-head is going to be interesting?
I'm very interested to see it. The thing that I worry about is you have Rookie going up against someone that's a world-class duelist, right? But I think as well, you have to consider Durka is the type of duelist that can make plays for himself. Is Zeus going to be able to do that, or is he going to rely on his team to be able to set him up?
We will find out in just a moment. For now, though, VUT, would you like to toss this over to Kakuka and Pansy to get us into game?
Yeah, good luck, Kakuka and Pansy. I hope you're gonna enjoy. I hope you're gonna cheer my Turkish brothers. See you.
We're on your side. Thank you so much. And yeah, what a great start to things.
Did you know that Icebox was released on October 13th, 2020 as a part of Valorant's Episode 1, Act 3? I'm really trying to get up to speed, but I think I might have gotten it wrong.
Yeah, fantastic. Brilliant. Someone called Nadeshot. We've got some answers for you. We're here to help you out. But we have a great game in front of us. All that aside, FUT against Vitality. It is kind of the test of the top, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
This is the top end of the scene. We've seen so little between these two, though, really, so far. A very small sample size. But where's your mind going to now looking at this?
Two players, Mr. Fallen and Safe, both IGL and both on the deco. Of course, we do have one, and FUT has some tape onto Vitality, and things are going up to speed right from the beginning.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, Yedajay, not a chance in hell. And there was a lot of talk about this map when you had KC and Vitality facing off, and then of course FUT leading into this. So much to be said, but let's kind of touch base on that once we see the conclusion. Fabulous stall coming out from the Taeho utility, just allowing so much pressure to build now.
Yeah, exactly. The spike still has not gone down. Vitality, even though put in all that pressure, still they're trying to find some kills, or probably just waiting for some utility to come back.
Yeah, waiting for that second cycle to come through. For now, that pause, or about a minute.
Safe still has the drone. Maybe he wants to save it for the post-bind.
He certainly could. Smoke goes back in. And looks like that's going to facilitate at least an attempt here. Oh, going to go there. Does he get away with it? Anything to deny? The paint shot goes a little too deep. It does actually catch Trex in the end, but the plant is down nonetheless. So man advantage to FUT, but still, Durka, Safe, and less in the post plant. There's utility here, Bayer, that can stall so much time.
And so important that Mr. Fallen, oh, sorry, I didn't know that this screen was on. Mr. Fallen has to use those salvos to get out of the position, but they're so low on HP.
Yeah, Ada Captain's down low, you've got Zeus down low. This is going to get a little bit difficult here. Then the stall, as I said, that Viper from Les, buying precious time. Safe now tries to get involved, but lovely work from FUT. Durka on the swing, gets caught. And FUT in control here, working it back. even though they were down so low, keeping composed and pulling that retake off so well.
And of course, many people are excited to see this head-to-head of these two teams because of what they represent in the region, especially with the performance that we saw from FUT last week playing against Team Liquid. Yes, some rounds were a bit messy. There was a lot of clutches and a lot of individual moments, but it's actually moments like this ones, these retakes, this having the patience and knowing exactly how to work with each other that manages to get this retake for them.
And how do you feel about this matchup? Because there was a lot of discussions about this, right? Of, you know, which team does it suit better? Even on the desk, they're kind of saying that Vitality is either first or last, or you know, FUT, that team to look out for. Now, this super team, where do you stand on that?
I mean, I think I'm a little bit on the Vitality hype. I think that there's a lot of reasons. Probably some of them have not been highlighted properly. If we look at the agents right now, Trex going on the Brimstone. Last week, it was the first time that he played the Brimstone on an event, right?
Yeah.
So it's also those pieces that are making this team work. Yes, Save and Dirk are great. You know, we can all agree on that. But what's going to happen with the rest? On the other side, though, I love the fact that the desk was speaking about Cracks. Loving him on the KO, extremely special throughout the year last year, and he also was the only player in the world that played KO on Fracture.
Gotta be pretty good at it. If
Yeah, and he's this good,
right? Again, this should be a farming round. You are seeing at least an outlaw there for less. I think that's been filtered back through, but still, outside of that, it's ghosts and classics. So at best you're hoping for is maybe a little bit of a costly round, if you could, if you're Vitality, and the rest would be potentially a plant. You're looking at Silver Linings. That was the big chance there. Less now removed. Most of that threat is getting more and more nullified. It feels just that poison chalice falling onto the next player.
But you see, they're just taking their time. They're not taking risky duels.
Zeus got caught in no man's land there. That seems a little bit lackadaisical. Could tighten up on those things because, again, Cracks is down low. You don't want to cause too many issues. A lot of firepower is on this Vitality roster, and the plant...
Mr. Fallen still has a 5 salvos.
And the plant's in. They've gotten away with quite a lot here. Craxy, be careful. This is good. Clean up crew for FUT. Kicks just needs to try and do as much damage as possible. And they're doing very well. I don't think you can deny the defuse, but still cost them 2 players. A respectable outcome so far for them. And the Outlaw can be filtered through if they want it. I think they can recover both Bulldogs. They do.
Yeah, exactly. And just looking ahead and thinking about these two teams, as you were asking me, Vitality, yes, they had a tough matchup against KC, but they played very specific compositions that we do not see in the rest of the region. And especially for a map like Bind, we know that they kind of had the upper hand. But being FUT, going from banning Bind last week into peeking at this one, probably they spotted some of it. They thought that Mr. Fallen was going to clear safe on that Tejo. This is where it has to start, now that Vitality has the guns on their side.
Spot on. Durka did a recent interview as well discussing how hard it is to play against someone like Casey early season, coming with so many ideas and unique plays, and how later on the season that can be less valid. But for now, we focus on this round because it is the bonus, and they aren't going to be overly invested here. You're looking at Yeda J down on the Ghost, Mr. Fallen as well, just on towards the Ghost himself. So you look at them trying to approach this with something unique. I quite like that. They're trying something a little bit unique. They're kind of pushing out toward that B short position. Didn't get what they wanted there, but still. Caught on the knife, but how much information?
Drone is down.
Yeah, exactly. The knife sometimes will give you like not very reliable information, probably one of the reasons why we don't see it on Fracture. And here on Bind, it doesn't really give you the full picture, but it does style a lot, and we saw it on the previous round.
Yeah, Trek still taking contact. Tortuga, but it's this safe opportunity in the 1v1 here. Yeda J is one of the weaker links, just with that Ghost. And they've actually lost out on Cracks as well. This should be the green light. Yeda J's been swept through, and the site now looks vulnerable. Mr. Fallen is here, but that's a stall on the plant. It shouldn't really cost them too much for Vitality. Nice utility to keep contained this area. Second attempt at the plant, and Mr. Fallen puts his life on the line. I like the attempt. Tried to get scrappy, but it's 5 alive, and the clock is on their side this time. That's a little bit awkward. This mouse wheel jump just in the middle of it. As Ada Captain, last one alive here. And similar to what we were saying last round, can he cost them anything? This is, you know, again, you wouldn't want to use one of those Vandals there.
Who trained you?
Okay, well, that's one gone. And that's a Vandal picked up. So Ada Captain can make this hurt. Let's see how badly. Durka going to keep it secure, pick up that Vandal again. And I'm wondering if Safe gets one as well. I think he will. Actually, Durka, did he find? Okay, he's still going to be on the Bulldog, so interesting enough, but they get the first one under the belt.
Yeah, exactly. Very necessarily, and I think that I love the fact that even though Vitality has made those couple of changes, they look so good when they play in synergy. I think that Haven was a perfect example, and them using the Sky utility to then follow up with the kill is the Vitality that could be that super team.
And I wonder how they want to utilize the Seekers for kicks. You do have Cracks on the other side of, obviously, with KO's ult as well, so both in a similar position. We're going to get you used to the telestring.
Yeah, I just wanted to move this from here, but I couldn't.
Well, round 2. You want to...
You're just better than me.
Yeah, talent. For now, though, we just wait and see how this kind of plays out. It's a really early invested presence towards that B-long side of the map. They've drawn the third player. The TP gets it. This feels very similar to that previous round, but how do they want to then end it in maybe a different fashion?
Yeah, exactly. And Safe again, just taking the TP by himself.
Launching smoke.
And Safe's succeeding. He shouldn't be winning these fights out towards Showers on his own, but he does. It's Safe. I mean, the guy's good at what he does. But that's a huge pick. And Zeus now has been caught drifting a little bit back from site. I think that was in potentially the bonus at one point. And again, here, going down early, losing out in Showers control could be an issue. I want to keep a track on that young player. He's a hot prospect. Everyone was talking about this guy. There's go the Seekers, setting them into motion. Durka, dish down Cracks, and now that front side is completely and open and ready for the taking.
Yeah, the spike's gonna go down, as you're saying. Using the Seekers in this round is massive. All the smokes are down, and now a 3v5 situation for FUT. Last week, they were amazing on those, but how much on that was on Team Liquid's side?
I think quite a bit. But, you know, we wait and see. Maybe there's some magic here. Maybe there's something to them when they get in these situations. But I don't think Vitality's going to underestimate this team. When you're looking at FUT, you know that capability. You can't give them that much run, but a nice isolated fight there. But a swing from Durka, maybe a little bit worried about that molly behind, so plays it forward. And with the numbers that they have, it's a fair attempt there. They're going to just lose out one. Yeah, time to pull the plug. Get out of there. But this looks good so far from Vitality. I'm surprised at the amount of reward they're getting from the Showers fight. The Safe's been getting away with that now for, what, 2 rounds?
There's
been
depth
great.
to this. There's been real depth to this. We see Vitality, yes, they're running the clock down, but they're actually doing something with it. They're working the map. They're trying to force kind of a response for FUT, and they also have a response for when there's no response.
Then you go in.
Okay, so we've got a couple ults now building through Durka. I think maybe just got his ult as well in that last move, so I don't mind him going for that little aggressive play, going for that extra swing on it. So that's right there. That's a huge tap in the pocket. You're starting to see some of the other ults for FUT come in here, but I'm looking at the purchase. It might be a little rough for some of these players. I want to see how they try and... I don't know. It's going to be a
Most definitely, Sheriff.
So do we see them try and do something?
Playing inside the smokes?
We're not in Americas, all right? They don't work out here.
There was a time where Stinger was the thing, Lauren, and we were all here.
Stop trying to make the Stinger happen. As it stands, I'm looking at if Ada Captain gets an opportunity with that ult, if maybe Cracks does, if any of those call forward. But mainly the standouts is this man right here, Zeus. Has the Vandal, right place, potentially, and maybe right time. Drop on the wall, say hello. Oh, it's not good, it's not good. We wanted the question of how does he deal with Durka? Going from someone like Team Liquid's Duelist to someone like Durka is a whole different world, and that is why he's good for a second. Now there's a bit of danger. Cracks tries to fill the void, but he gets dealt with. Good spacing from Vitality to not let that Vandal get too problematic. Let it fall into the enemy's hands. So for now, a plant's in, Yeda J and Ada Captain, well, you can see where they are.
Yep.
Quite far away.
Yeah, but what is Ada Captain going to do? Is he just going to stay with that Stinger? There's not really a weapon that they can retrieve easily. Maybe he gets into the TP.
Yeah.
But right now, J, even though he was great on those clutches, there's not much that he can do for this round. And at some point, right, I know it's only been 3 rounds, but you wonder, when is that timeout going to come in? Because we know the guys is one of the best coaches in those timeouts.
Yeah.
The effect that he has is massive, and of course he's been with the team for a very, very long time.
And I feel like, especially if you're going to pick Bind after you've got tape on Vitality, you want to see quite an early impact for it. So I feel like it's one of those, you want a nice early reward. This is completely acceptable so far, but I just want to put the caveat to that. That once we've gone into the gun rounds, Vitality have had quite the stronghold. Their default looks solid, their approach to the map looks solid, and they're about to get some ults coming through here as well. This is starting to build up to a little bit of a worry for me. Buy back here for FUT, though. If they don't get this one, we need a timeout.
But listen, also, we've been seeing a lot of teams playing on this map, and it's all about the attack, right? It's not the defense that I'm worried about. We've seen a lot of crazy comebacks, things go into overtime, and just because FUT has only 2 rounds, I think it's too early to say that they don't know what to do with this and how to deal with it.
You got the hope.
You see, they're expecting the aggressive coming in from FUT.
So what are they actually doing, though? That's the question. So clearing through Showers with the drone. Good to see this guy flash and sees Raze. So 2 players present.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a little bit of a note. Boom bot there, so they've cleared showers. See if there's any response to this.
Playing very passive because, of course, they've seen Durka. Durka has a showstopper. It's Durka. I don't think there needs any more context there.
So decent info on both sides of the map so far. You've kind of got Safe on one side, Durka on the other. Again, feeling like this default, they're almost swinging that 5th player around like they're on the defending side, kind of that pendulum swing. And look at the counter-clockwise approach. You almost saw that Teo rotating back towards B. That uncertainty is certainly present in their minds. Now, Zeus, that's better. That's what we're waiting for. See this young gun warm up into this. Deals with Durka, that showers control, tick in the box. Now, what does Vitality do presented with a 4v5?
Yeah, exactly, because Safe looks... I don't know if he's going to take the TP again, but he's been walking onto the same position for a few rounds now. Yes, there are ults available now on the side of FUT, thanks to that kills onto Durka. Zeus got his own showstopper, so a lot of passiveness now coming from the side of FUT, as they should.
They can kind of dig into these sites, turtle up a touch, but Vitality is going to have to springboard. We're getting to 20 seconds. You've got to get a bit of a wiggle on here. Going to stall out on towards long. Smoke's going to come down. Kicks is going to find one. It's Mr. Fallen to find it back, but Vitality's trying to get towards the site, but the spike is lost. Needs to get towards the site itself. Mr. Fallen just sitting safe towards CT. Doesn't want to overdo it, but Safe is on patrol here. He's on guard duty, and that's a great shot. It's back down to a 2v2. They have that CT control, and this man's got bravado for a reason, but he respects it because he knows Trex has that next line right beside him. There's such threat to these players that you see time and time again. You cannot underestimate the individual power of Vitality.
It is crazy to think that this is only second week for Save being in the IGL full-time here on Vitality, and he's making the calls that he's making. On all of these rounds, the way that, again, they're working the map, they're dealing with the utility that they know are going to come in front, how they're leaving more or less seconds left in the clock, and always put FUT in a very difficult situation. And again, they're not going to be scared of taking the duels because it's Safe. Like, most of the times, he's going to win it.
Yeah, he's cocky, he's confident, he's got it all.
Nice, guys.
It's a scary thing when you've got someone who's like IGLing like this, who's kind of playing the Teho role to an extent, and yet he's got that firepower. But I like what we're trying here. Get proactive on the pistol, try and do something. And Zeus does well, gets away with two, but we still want to see that next layer. Can they convert around? Because once we got to the gun rounds, it's been feeling like Vitality. So, again, silver linings here, but we're going to start needing to see more than silver linings.
Yeah, totally. I'd love to see Trex with that operator. I want to see more of him just locking down the sides.
Well, you were talking about them as the unsung heroes, right?
Yes.
We were having a chat before, and obviously when I'm looking at the Vitality roster, I'm looking at your Safe, Durka, Les, big names. But you were discussing the other two as well to high praise.
Yeah, Kicks also played his first Omen last week, also in an official. And I love the way that he was playing onto sides, always staying for the post plan, just bringing a lot of value to the team. Again, there is a big system that they have created, and they're all important to it.
It's great to see. There's potential to this roster. Everyone can see it a mile off. But for now, can the remainders from FUT... Oh, bloody hell, Les. It's like you can kind of get a little lost sometimes looking at Safe with that, you know, shined how he plays, or Durka, but then you're like, oh, wait, that's a so too. Oh, do you remember that guy? He's quite good too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jay, time to keep that Vandal. I think it's Durka's.
And I think this calls for a timeout, right? I understand that guys probably is hearing that they're approaching and they're identifying the issues. And also, think about it. If you get the timeout, you also give it to the other team. Vitality has a lot of ults coming into play. Even Faded also a minute to discuss with them what they want to do with the round. Could work for them. So just be very careful when he has the timeout. But after 8 rounds and not getting a single
gun round here.
Oh, Zeus is going on the operator. Could this be the solution?
And it's been dropped out by Krax, who's waiting on a drop back himself. Okay, so they've shuffled the money around. Maybe this is the answer to it. Let's see if it's the solution. Maybe guys hearing this is the option they were going for feels okay with it. Maybe happy enough with this, but I love this response. It feels way more all-in. And you don't want to be doing kind of splits when there's an op up against you because it just gives those opportunities for those picks to come in. So going for an all-in site hit is far preferable, but we are seeing some of these big ults here that can force these players out of those positions. So caught in no man's land, it's a double! Durka with both forces them forward to the Armageddon, and they were waiting in the wings. Now, luckily enough, there is still chance here. You've still got a problem. Where that spike is, look at Ada Captain. Look at where the spike is. There is a chance that FUT can still do serious damage. I love you, observers. You're far too good at your jobs. There we go, getting too confident. Zeus gonna at least find one, but Kicks right there, the 1-2 punch. The spacing on this team is solid. Unless his position is out of this world. Now, does Ada Captain have that internal clock ticking? He does, but it doesn't matter. Les just does that 1-2 step, takes him out, and suddenly the red carpet is rolled out.
Yeah, exactly, and he's going to be one away from his ultimate. Maybe, you know, give it to Kicks would have been another solution, but they've been rolling very, very well with this ultimates and having as many as they can in hand. It's going to be good for them.
Oh, nice try, but
last week he would have won this.
And I love this call, I guess, from Vitality, and I wonder how much it was reading into that. Operator might be coming out, but going for that all-insight hit, utilizing those ults, as said, that armor, you know, safe using his to kind of force them either forward or stay and die. Durka then ready with the showstopper. It was stunning. Now, I think at this point, FUT do need a time.
Yeah,
they got to. It's time to slow something down.
I was not ready.
You've got to find a solution here because the scoreline doesn't look too atrocious yet. 2-6 is still workable.
But the context.
It's the first 2 rounds. They're pistol rounds.
Again, FUT banned this map last week. This week, they decide to pick it onto a Vitality that has already had that rep against probably one of the best teams, if not the best, in this region, in KC. You learn much more from the losses than from the wins.
You certainly do. And again, this was something that I think Durka did this interview with, I think it's Brandon Moore, and go check it out for yourselves. There's a lot of details there, but discussing how, you know, they've done some great practices, they were happy with it, but you learn in those officials, they had a lot of takeaways from that game as well, and kind of discussing how hard it was to play against KC in that. So this is going to be a tough one.
I love Gaius because he speaks a lot with his hands, just like me. You know, like I sympathize with that.
I sympathize.
Yes.
It's not a joyous occurrence. It is a rough situation because it feels like they've walked in to what they thought. I don't want to say a slam dunk. It's not a slam dunk.
They haven't really managed to stop them.
Not at all. Not
they
once.
managed to stop them on the pistol, but actually Vitality is working very well around their util.
And they've had great reads. The calling from Safe has been really solid here. I've been very impressed. Now, let's see what the timeout looks like. Is there any tangible changes to our eye here? Vitality can take their time. You can see how passive this setup is, especially on that A side.
Yeah, that flash is going to get no info that nobody has pushed. And Mr. Fallen has been using this drone to clear showers more than once. He's not going to spot absolutely anything.
Starting to question its validity here, but actually that absolute dump of util towards B long could have been a problem. Durka doesn't take as much damage as I thought he might. He is still obviously chipped up here.
Falling to saves util.
And now we're going to see the kind of turn of events, right? So that pressure towards B long, take the TP, go through. They already have showers control. They start to build up here. Now, what's the response? So they're trying to paint a different picture. They still have Safe towards B long. Ada Captain looking to re-clear this space, trying to claim this back. But Safe is so clean, at least good for the 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, exactly. And just look at the right side. Kick still has his ultimate, less as well if they manage to get onto side. But again, almost 35 seconds left on the clock, and Vitality needs to make a decision.
But I like this positioning from Trace. It was a good opportunity to go for a little bit of a pick there, but they don't have much step towards A. They don't have showers control anymore. They don't really know too much, but it's pulled the player.
I've got your Mr. is already rotating.
And now with the Seekers coming out, they're going to know exactly what's going on. But yeah, the J, great impact. Going to find less. Okay, that maybe keeps some control of this. The plant could come in, but Dirk is going to find Mr. Fallen. This is going all over the place. There's alert coming in towards Hookah as well. There's going to be the focus towards CT. So let's look towards Durka. Off the back of the flash. Fantastic call in there. Beautiful work between Durka and Kicks. Stunning synergy.
7 out of 7 for Vitality, and it just looks so well drilled. As I was saying, I think the Kicks and Trex are doing an amazing job. We just saw it. We know that Dirk is going to hit those shots, but the preparation, the being able to rely on your teammate for having such easy duels. I also love the fact of how Mr. Fallen here is trying to help Yetajay get out of that situation. He hears the steps, he knows the execute is coming because the clock's ticking. And even with that, Vitality come out on top time and time again.
This is a big punish. It's like, oh, you think
Nice
you got a little read on us? You think that KC game you can do the same? That's crazy. Anyway, here we are at 7-2. A real punish on the veto, and you can see the money, sadly for FUT, has just been back and forth the whole time, just back down to Sheriff. So you got one Bulldog on Mr. Fallen, but Zeus is 1 off from ult, 2 away from Ada Captain, but.
See, Vitality is just waiting for it. You know, at some point they're going to get aggressive again. They did on A short a few rounds ago. They have all the time, all the money. and everything seems to be working for them.
I like that
The knife
Zeus
is
has
gonna be
actually
broken.
followed that, though. Zeus has actually followed the utility around this time, which is a new layer to it. That's something very different, playing out of showers. Now, he might be rewarded, but the issue is that doing this on these sort of rounds, they've only got Sheriffs anyway, so Vitality have already won the strong side, you know, or the more vital part of the map. But an opportunity for Zeus. Takes away less, so that post plant does get chipped away at. Not going to have as much utility
Safe is everywhere.
on. You're absolutely... How is safe here?
He's everywhere.
Truly. Look at this guy, just waiting. Zeus has no idea. The second he tries to get too close, Trek's already going to take away J. And look at it, Dirk can just toy with him.
But look, like they don't take unnecessary risks.
Nope, because look who's around the corner.
He's like, yeah, he's there. He's there.
Poor old Kicks is going to die
down.
for it. Yeah, poor old Kicks. Look, he's selfless. He's selfless in this.
We've all been there.
This is a very impressive display from Vitality in my mind.
I think that
these-
FUT is already thinking about
Next
their
map.
attack. No. I mean, I'm going to assume that they've picked this spine for a reason, and it's probably the attack. Like, that is what I want to see. But right now, the way Vitality is working, like the calls from Save, in this head-to-head against Mr. Fallen, who is one of the best IGLs that we have in the region, it's, as Pipson would say, insane.
Safe is walking him like a dog right now. It's wild to see. Because FUT are so good. This is the battle of the top, and away we go. Zeus trying to be aggressive again. I like what they're trying to do, but it feels like it finds nothing. We're discussing how passively Vitality was sitting ready for this aggression earlier in the game. Now they're prepared fully for it. Dirk are not going to quite find his man in the end. That's clean from Zeus. Lovely. Back-to-back impact, and the spike now lost. Finally, but have the upper hand here. How long can they get to keep it? Do they get to keep it? Out of captain, run for your life. There we are, get out of there. Has to give up the space, but Krax took a lot of damage earlier. He's got to be careful here. And Zeus is on guard duty, but Les snuck in and got the spike. Ah, but Les, he's so sharp. And now Krax is in that awkward predicament, right? He's 3 HP. He can't have an extended fight. He's got to try and catch him on the run. Now you're going to see that ult going to come through, give Les a little bit of a corner to play from. Krax just spraying in wildly, hoping for the best. We're just lost in the source here. Plant now going to come down in more of a default position. Krax trying to close the gap. Still, this is such an uncomfortable post plant. Yeah, you can see it. J is going to isolate Safe, take him away from this, and bring it down to the 2. Les and Trex. Krax, J, and Ada Captain to try and navigate the mist. Work their way through. Counter ult on top.
That's ballsy.
Yeah, it's a bit soupy in here now. Les, what the hell was that? Was that, I don't know if he even saw him there, maybe just a shot in the dark, but the molly on top. And now this one looks wrapped up with a bow. Look at the state of it. You can't move. It's so oppressive. 9 rounds. That was the chance for FUT, it felt like, and it crumbled.
Yeah, and of course, just off the back of the hand of just having the ultimates, being able to work with it. But again, the response for Vitality is instant. Now we're getting the pressure. We know exactly what to do. We take Shower's control and we put them in an uncomfortable situation. Perfect scenario also for Les to use his ultimate. And just, honestly, I'm very happy that he's having the performance that he's having.
Nice, good job.
People
Hey,
say
guys,
it was a little bit lukewarm
No
last
stress.
week.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy that he's confident and, you know, he's been always brilliant on Viper and Cypher.
And the value of his kills can't be
Yes.
underestimated. It's been so high impact. I think he's actually second on the board to potentially Durka as well, but the value on its own has been...
as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's been so impressive. I wish I could give the answer of what FUT should be doing. Mini, get to work. Out on his hospital bed. He's not in hospital, it's fine. J, Izzy's going to deny Durka, but this feels like FUT haven't found anything to really get that ball rolling with. That little bit of aggression felt good. This is the first time they've had a pick and no trade for what feels like a lifetime.
Yeah. And Vitality, almost every round, just taking control of that B-long. Just fighting for it and just waiting to play on the right timings.
This is timing. Getting closer. J ahead of this. The timing actually gets what he wanted there. Takes away less at least. I thought he might have been caught in that awkward drop-down timing, but no, he was fine. So still a man disadvantage here for Vitality and a man to the good. There's still Ada Captain in a position they may not know about, but look at the pathing here from Vitality.
On the other side of the map.
This feels wild to me.
30 seconds.
Just trying to force them out, trying to force them duels, but clock's ticking. They need to get that spike down, and if Trex wants to fake this, he needs to start making some noise.
So they're all going to come down. The knife comes down. They see nothing.
He's just taking control of the site.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of space here, so it's going to be Mr. Fallen. If he catches an angle, no, it's been smoked off. 12 seconds, a really late round.
He has
pivot
10
move.
seconds left.
This is massive, but where does the plant go? Does it go towards the default spot? Does it deny? It's got to be planted now. Time is close. I think they've got the plant on this, but it was right down to the wire. But that doesn't deny Kicks there. Gets slowed down on the retreat, and the captain doesn't get his dinner. He's made a meal of it. Safe's the one to find Zeus. We're back down to a 3v2 now. Kicks and Safe back to the wall though. Safe trying to succeed from showers, but he's down to just that bit of util to try and stall out. So many bodies up against him. One to the left, one to the right. He's got so much on his plate. Surely not. He made a damn good go. But FUT just about finding some silver lining at the end here.
The first round, the first gun round that they actually managed to get in the entire half. Yes, it took a lot of work and probably some drilling, just waiting on the sides, changing the position and changing how they're just dealing with everything that Vitality is putting on the table. But still, do you think it's going to be enough?
We're going to find out. I have no idea. But before we dive into the second half, let's check out this video of Safe about being the IGL for Vitality.
I feel like there are, the challenges of stepping into a role like this is first and foremost, like you have to be able to guide people, I feel. It's not only about yourself anymore, and you don't have a lot of time to think about yourself, but also I feel like there's a lot of false, and maybe this is from my own subjective point of view, is like false interpretation of the role, because people are always saying, oh, if you're IGL, you can't frag, or if you're IGL, this and that, but I just feel like it sounds like a whole lot of excuses for things that shouldn't be the case, especially if you're a tier 1 competitor, especially if you're someone that's supposed to be at the top. It's just the fact that the scene is a bit young and that people haven't gotten into the role as good yet. Let's say it like that. Like there are a lot of good IGLs, there are a lot of people that can shoot and call at the same time. And I feel like we've set this very standard of it has to be a certain person to IGL. It's not. Like all the players that are smart enough are capable of doing it. And sure, you need to have a personality as well to be able to do it with the correct people. But at the end of the day, if you're good enough at something, you're going to be able to do it.
Nice! That's my dog! That's my dog! Hey!
I want your opinion on that then. How do you feel about IGLs generally falling into certain player roles? Do you believe in it? 'Cause I do. I think generally the better IGLs do play a more kind of passive position, a little bit more behind the scenes, quote unquote, not expected to frag out as much, but somehow it does feel like Safe is kind of proving this theory wrong, right?
I think that it's a little bit too soon to tell. I think that Vitality, all in all, is proving to be a pretty good team.
Absolutely.
Okay, but I want to see more because we've only seen one match from them, and then this one. Yes, everything's looking so good. I feel like I'm waiting for the moment that it breaks, and then everybody will be like, "He was always a fraud," which he isn't.
But it does feel like that with this team, though, because I think the biggest caveat...
I think that if you find your way of making it work, if Safe finds a way to be as proactive as he is being, taking so much responsibility and making it work,
amazing.
Exactly.
Right? Like
They could find something that only they can do.
Truly. And speaking of the man, he is the one who's got the vast majority of them coming towards him. Does he stand and fight? He does, and gets overrun here. Couldn't slow down the roll by any means coming out from FUT. So this is now going to open potentially the floodgates up. Do they try and work off the back? Already a 5v4, plants in play. We've got to see something here from FUT. This side has to be their strong half coming in. Yedajay's found another target potentially. Durka seen, turns around, lovely from Yedajay. This is really quite impressive. He's going to cut them right in half. Less in a bit of an awkward spot now. Does manage to pry away Mr. Fallen, but forced out of position, and FUT looking solid. Already Trex left in a 1v4, no chance in hell. So FUT gonna start things off right. Now, this also happened in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. We did see them winning that first pistol, and it didn't translate too much into the half, as you're saying, but this is a different face of FUT. It doesn't matter what happened in that first half. If you're gonna be this determined to make it onto side, just by the book with the utility, clearing out the spaces, how Yedajay manages to isolate the fights, how we still have things to play with and for during the post-plant.
Nice!
Yeah.
Need a bit of that. I mean, you've been in a drought of rounds, right? That was how many back-to-back? Like 9 rounds back-to-back for Vitality. You're not going to be feeling pumped up. So that's big stuff for FUT to start feeling out the game a bit. Keep this sort of tempo up. Keep this round clean. Go through all of that checklist, right? That's what you want to be seeing. Now, no massive stack. I say that. It was a 4-1 split, I guess. Trex was left on his own here. The rest going for the stack towards B. Bit of a gamble. Not a problem. Don't mind it at all. But FUT going to get the plant, and now you've got to see them keep 5 standing. You don't want to see them lose too many. Really, the main thing you want to keep hold of is that Phantom. He was playing close forward. Mr. Fallen going to make up for that, though. Keep this secure. Keep trying, well, try and keep this safe. Kicks is feeling rather ravenous about it. Is going to close down and picks up the prize possession. Now, does he get to keep it? Oh my God.
Does he get to win it, Lauren?
Wait. He's got time
He's
on
got
this
time.
one. But you look at who's in the post plant. Surely, no, wait. There's no molly for either captain. There's only a flash left for Cracks. There's still a chance in this one. Kicks! Are you kidding me? There's a chance, but it gets nullified. But damn, that was way too close.
Way too close for comfort. Yes, Ada Captain is going to be able to save that Phantom, but that already looks different to that first half. Definitely the individual level is there. Some very good kills also for Zeus. We were thinking about how he was going to match up, and even with the score looking the way that he is, he's still taking that information, he's still pushing, he's still looking for those duels. But right now, as we go into the 3rd round of this half, of course, the economy is not the best for the side of FUT.
No.
And Vitality is looking very good. Again, Kicks very close to his ultimate again.
Kicks has been having a bit of a blinder.
The drone boosted with the
It's ridiculous. Especially, have you seen it when it goes really slowly as well? Safe was doing that. When the first time we saw them play, oh wait, less. Trying to be forced into a corner, but it's still less. Overrun though, it's Kicks again. Still getting 2, but this is fantastic from FUT. They've taken what they wanted here. A good push on the side. Hold on, Trex is getting a little bit naughty. Oh, he's made an absolute dog's dinner of that one. Nicely done from FUT there, but it felt so frantic at the end.
And it's so different from the attack that we've seen from Vitality. Them taking the time, working the map, trying to get a little bit of information to maybe get FUT to burn some utility. FUT's just sending it fully. And you would think that a team like Vitality, especially after playing against KC, knows what it likes to be swamped with utility when it comes to that B execute. And even though Kicks is good for 2, still not enough with the rest of the utility fallen, and maybe them being too eager not to play for that post planting.
That is something we want to talk about as well. If it comes into effect more and more here, does that get exploited? That I want to touch base with you on. We do have a bit of a mixed bag. We do have the Bucky out for safe, Shorties and Sheriffs, so not much to write home about. But give me a little bit of theory on that then, Bea, because it was something we were talking about before this started.
Yes, exactly, because I was just looking at the results from Vitality, what was working for them, what was not working for them. And the retakes, Lauren, it is not something that was really working for them. I'll find the numbers and I'll get back to you.
Sure. For now, we're seeing how FUT want to approach this, right? Because you want to obviously avoid any sort of stack, any sort of silliness, any cheesiness going on. So you've got to be a bit careful about it. And what a tempo change. That last round was fast and furious. Now, so meticulous. The spin-off series. Oh dear, that was almost like a jump scare. But Trex going to be dealt with. Safe the next one on the line. They're going to know what's coming their way, but this Bucky is still controlling some space, right? There is still a bit of danger here. Durka going to start working forward. Okay, done for. Zeus ain't having none of it. He's farming up now. Plants in. Less.
With a shorty.
Yeah, probably not going to do much.
So you just go and die, maybe try and die to the spike if he can prevent being killed by any of the players. Zeus with his showstopper, that's also going to be very important for next round. So far, FUT looking absolutely flawless in this half.
Look, we were questioning this, right?
Yeah.
Like I was, at least. If you're going to come into a map like this, that first half.
If the coach doesn't ask for both the timeouts in the first half, they know that they bring it back on the second one. They know that there is a point of saving it for the second one because you know that this is where you're going to excel.
I like that. I do like that. And we're starting to see Zeus really kicking into gear. Again, he's leading the board. He's up at 17 kills so far. Showstopper's ready. You've got, if you're going to compare him pound for pound to Durka, Durka's on 13 kills. Not. Pardon?
Oh.
Pardon? It's the remix.
I think probably JetJ's screaming has scuffed our audio.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen. And now is Vitality asking for the timeout after what is 4 rounds in a row for this attack and half on the side of FUT. And guys is just telling them, you're doing this great.
Yeah, I love that.
Amazing.
I love that. I love the way you're like the Gaius Whisperer. You know what I mean? You can just see what he's saying. But I do feel like they've come in just looking totally different. That first half feels night and day, right? But this is also where we want to really get into the nitty-gritty about Vitality, is what, the depth of this team. Now, the KC series, the one big game, I guess you could talk about, would be that Abyss performance.
Yes.
Much closer, started to get really pressured. How do they look? It felt like they came up with the answers eventually. But the more we see games like this, the more I want to understand this team.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned Abyss, because actually some of the numbers that I also have them on this map, but I'm just going to take the Abyss one because I think it's very interesting. Out of the 16 rounds that they played on the defense on that map, in 10 of them, KC got the spike down, and they were only able to retake 2 of them. So that's only like a 20% retake success.
You got the numbers.
Yeah, I got the numbers.
That's pretty wild. Okay, so we've got
Locating target.
back into business. What is the change up here for Vitality? Was it just a checking in? Was it just getting themselves prepared? And already player going to be suppressed and dealt with. Okay, Vitality. They're like, "Look, you want to brawl? Sick, we're in. Have you forgotten who we are?" Durka just flies in and backhands 2 of them. And a captain and J like, guys, where's the rest of the team?
There's different ways of stopping the spike to go down. That doesn't mean you have to play within the side. We give this up. You want to launch all that utility. It doesn't matter. We're just going to try and step ahead. Very good call from Faded there. I'm going to assume, because I can.
Now, is there a world in which Ada Captain and J can bring this one back? I guess the one benefit to this situation that we know that sadly they don't is that it is split into 2v2s technically. Now, it's quite difficult, but the timing actually could work out well for J here. The angle much better as well. Doesn't see kicks, so the spike is still within the control of Vitality, but the individual lean out here and no trade coming out there either still gives J a chance. It is a 1v2. This is very difficult, and I'm looking at how Kicks is repositioning here.
30
I
seconds
like
left.
that he's trying to join up a little bit closer with Safe, kind of play a little bit more safety on this.
Especially when you go into the 2v1. Yes, the spike is still in control of Vitality. JTG is like feeling that there is a trap here. He picks up the spike, but is he going to spec this one?
Oh my, he's reading this correctly, but
Safe is such a baiter.
It's a nice try, NT. But
Very
hey,
well played there.
Timeout called. Next round, they've converted up to 10.
It is crazy that Safe also goes for those picks, but also has what it takes to be like, just Kicks, play there. I'm going to bait. He's not going to clear you. Yes, JTG was ready to
He
use
was
that,
so
but
close.
yeah, the response has been very, very good for Vitality, playing with those Seekers, not leaving this B side to be so vulnerable as it was.
Well,
Lauren?
don't know why you said my name that way. It's not my fault.
That's not what I've heard.
It is always my fault. We'll find out what it is. Production have said, you know what, Lauren? We're going to tell you exactly what it is because the viewers want to know. They're worried, you know? People at home, nervous. They don't know what's happening. So thank you, production. I've put them in a horrible position now that they'll be like, yeah, it's not safe for air, but, you know, is this? We'll find out what the issue is and hopefully we'll get it fixed up soon. But,
I think the first match went just too fast. It was too quick.
True. So we get punished?
Yes, I think that's how it works.
Ah, okay. Makes perfect
I thought
sense.
that I'm surprised to find out that you're new and how things work here. But
I don't pay attention.
we have a minimum of hours.
True. This is in my contract. Oh, man. This is wild. So how's your day been?
My day's been amazing. Got to do laundry in the morning. I had, you know, like casting is nice. Like I get to get to the studio and actually do something with the rest of my day.
It's crazy you think you're going to go home on time, though.
No, I never thought that. That's never on my books.
Yeah, no, I was.
How's your day been?
It's been alright. Read my book for a bit.
What are you reading?
I think it's called. It's either Plague or The Plague by Albert Camus. It's pretty good. I tried to read it before. I was a little bit stuck in the mud with it, and then eventually got there. Pretty solid. What? Safe to air. Here we go, guys.
Yeah.
I know you're worried.
We are too.
People at home, I've got you. We've been investigating. I've got my best people on the case. It is a gear/mouse related issue.
Look at Safe. Safe is looking at it.
There it is.
Is it the sensor?
It could be either maybe the mouse gates.
He's like, in any other of my games, I would have hit that shot.
I would have hit that.
There's something wrong.
Guys,
There's absolutely something wrong.
Replace it.
What do you mean Kicks gets the kill? What are we?
We'll find out if there's a fix for this. Can we just get a solo on Safe staring at his mouse? Please. I just want to see him just looking at it like, how dare you betray me and let me down like this. Yeah, Mum. Back to Safe. Pretty please. Cherry on top. I'm seeing him in-game wiggling around, so I think he's trying to test it out. We're keeping it.
I can actually turn around and
You
look.
could.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's far too sensible.
Oh, he's still swinging it. Looks good, I think.
Oh, I don't know if he's happy. He doesn't look happy. Durka doesn't look happy either.
No, because he's concentrated.
He's focused.
Yeah.
Oh, this is very serious. Is that an approval? He's like, well,
That's like a good nod. He said a couple of words.
oh, thumbs up from Durka. That feels
Oh.
good. I think. I don't know. He doesn't look happy.
Now I want to know what it is. And I hate being in this situation.
Same. Hopefully, it's not a sponsor of ours. I don't think it is.
Any good lip
Ah,
readers
we're
in
good.
the
Look at that
audience?
smile. Look at that smile. He's happy to go. He's good to go. But yes, it was a peripheral issue, and he is testing. Yes, I love the way that the production don't talk to me in ear anymore. They're just like, no, we're just going to type through the prompter. Meh. But apparently it is resolved. They will be starting back up. So thank you for your patience as ever. Hopefully you enjoyed the mini podcast without Mini, but with Kukuka.
Yeah, and also just going back on those rounds and the retakes. Out of the 8 rounds that they played on the defense... No, sorry. I mean, out of the 12 rounds that they played on the defense, the spike went down 8 times, and they were only able to retake 1 of them. So that is probably one of the reasons that we see in this on Bind. That's like a 12%, let's say.
The audience is starting to clap for when it unpauses.
That's the Pansy effect.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I see you all down.
Oh, and
nice one.
jump straight
into a timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, just look. This one isn't tech related. Okay, this is
That's
tactical.
an actual, yeah, we'll go with that.
The one on the one on the left. I really like their jerseys as well. This is the
blue?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of like a
very
nice
pretty.
colour. Yeah. This is what people want to tune in for, is jersey content. You know?
I've not been surprised by
Don't try and bring this back into
No?
topic.
Okay. Like I want to see a little bit more, especially now on the attack. Like yes, Vitality just
Okay, what metric then? What does that look like in game for you? What does that look like? Is it just individual impact? Is it setting plays into motion? What do you want to see then tangibly?
So I want to see a reason why to pick KO and not something else. I know that FUT has been a team that has played a lot of different things and tested a lot of different compositions in the past, and especially last year. Every single time that a composition did not work, they would just change it. And I want to see a justification as to why bringing the KO beyond the just being comfortable in your own skin with it, because Krax is good in many other agents, not just, K is amazing, but I want to see a little bit more. I understand that depends on what you catch, especially when you're having this fast executes. If you get like 2 with the knife and it's like saving kicks, you're gonna you're gonna have such an easy time planting.
Keep an eye on that.
Just work for the post plan, which they have a lot of util to go for.
Yeah, that is true. And we've got the minimal HUD for you guys now. No player cams. There was too much smiling. It's back on. Why is Durka's hand up?
Oh, that was
just happened. Oh my god.
It's commits a falling.
I don't know what's happening. Yedajay. Okay, so Yedajay is going to ult out of showers. You're going to have the deep drone coming out towards amps, I guess, clear through that a little bit. But I'm looking at what's happening on the other side of the map. Now, does Ada Captain hear or see? I feel like he's heard something. Something doesn't feel right. There's something going on. Or they have, like, God timing. Because we were discussing, when there's no Sentinels in these sort of teams, there is options for flank. And I want to see it exploited. Now,
Rex was doing it all the time.
Yeah, this actually could be so deadly. I feel like they've got no idea. If they're confident, if Kix is confident to make moves towards this, it could be absolutely lethal. He's gone for the dog, for the info on it. I guess he can maybe play in... I don't know if he even needs to do that. I think they were completely unawares of it. Now they're going to turn attention, but big boy shot from Durka. And now you've got 2 players on the flank. They're going to be crunched on the site. Let's see how that kind of CT side players push back in and do anything with. It's less to find one. Zeus has created a pocket to play from, though, at least towards short. But it's down to Krax and Yedajay here. 2v2. Swing out from the pit. Safe's going to find. Krax now left in that 1v2. We want to see a lot from him individually. Do we see it now? Less and safe, though. That is a dangerous duo. And he doesn't want it, apparently. He might have fumbled this one. He absolutely has. Overthinking it, it felt like something going astray as Vitality make it up to 11.
I like the way the Vitality is also working the map, but from the defense every time, especially since FUT has been having these very direct hits. Just getting on the go, start moving once the execute starts for the side of FUT definitely has its value. I would have liked a little bit more follow-up in the overwhelm that they were trying to do with the utility, a little bit more of that pace up. Maybe Kicks, he didn't want to give up his position by using the flash and whatnot, but still, it's around the goes for them. It must feel good, because you sit out and defuse the spike, you've got safe, he's going to win that duel.
You kind of feel that, don't you?
It does.
Okay, now we're getting into a scarier territory. As much as FUT looked really good on those initial couple of rounds coming back in, that scoreline was so strong in the first half, Vitality make it up to 11 early. Now you're looking at the cycle of ults. Trex is 2 off, Safe already has his, Les has his as well. This is where I get worried, and Safe is starting to look confident, holding actively on these angles, looking to try and keep the pressure on, force the drone to try and clear through. Off it goes. Don't think it's going to find much value, no, but it will at least allow them safe passage over towards here.
Maybe a little bit more pushing. Looks like a very straightforward execute from the side of FUT. The knife, I think, is going to catch Safe.
Yep. And again, eyes on the map, folks. We are going to be seeing this every single time. There is no one to keep control of this. So if this was quicker, it could have been a problem at least before. Now there's Stall coming in. Speaking of quicker, they're going to be there. Already there's a turn of attention.
Still the Armageddon.
knows there is someone around the back there. There is someone creeping closer, surely. Now the timing's going to be everything. This time it's a fairer 1v1. And Kicks has it in the bag. And now they are surrounded. Now there's very little comfort. Safe, ready with the ult. Where are you going to run to? Where are you going to hide? Brax tries to play it in a little bit of a corner here. Zeus going to try and play it forward, but the spacing is good. It's a trade. Now on towards Krax and YetherJ. Again, the numbers still not on their side. Vitality have this red.
5 opportunities for them now to close their opponent map pick. And this retake was almost too easy to be true, right? We speak about that KO knife and how it had that impact at the beginning, but yes, then those salvos come in, he still has the util. How effective Kicks is being on these pushes alongside with Durka, how much pressure they put onto, like there is not a second that FUT has where Vitality is not trying to get the upper head onto the round.
And I love this kind of layering that's coming into it because you're seeing the stall coming out from the Teo utility. You're seeing them buying time for those flanks to become absolutely pivotal, and then the crunch is just perfect. Now, the problem is now FUT need to make this happen with a really low economy. They're down to Guardians. They do have had a Captain's ult, 2 away from Zeus's, so maybe that could be there, but it is on Zeus this round, right?
Yeah. A little bit more patient. Past 2 rounds, FUT has decided to just use this round. This is literally the exact same beginning of the previous round. The response is a little bit different. We see FUT on the left side of the map, trying to get control over B-Long.
And I love this switch up though. This is so frustrating. Vitality are in FUT's head. They're like, oh, you think you're going to try and punish the flank? That's crazy. We're not even doing it this round. Have fun. Do what you want. It's a little bit more of, I guess, a sped up default at this point with a little bit more invested interest. But they haven't taken any of those key areas yet. They don't have B-Long control. They don't have hookah. They don't have showers. They have, once again, A short.
But again, like, Krax used the 0 point there onto Les' ult. Like, yeah, he's in there. Like, if you're not going to follow up, what's the point of, like, denying him the molly or anything to follow up with it?
Now, whoever wins this fight actually could be really, really telling. Waiting to see the outcome. They've drawn the 4th player over, so this kind of falls on how does Les play this too. If you're YetherJ, you're just going to get out of it, right? You've done really well. You've feigned so much attention. There is still issues on this. The ult doesn't clear Les, but it secures the security on Long. Counter ult, stall in. Look at the time. We're getting to 15 seconds now. This is now looking like there's going to be a crunch. Kicks is in control. You highlighted him, and we're being rewarded now. 8 seconds of plant is in. Flash getting there, though, but you can see them just building up. This is done for. YetherJ can do nothing but pray and hope. Vitality have looked absolutely outstanding here. That was a brilliant performance, Bayer.
And what a way to close out this map with an in-zone flawless for the side of Vitality. What a beautiful map of find that we've seen coming from their side. They definitely learned a lot from that KC match. But next, we're going to see Split, and Split has a lot of history for Vitality, so we'll see you on the other side.
I remember now, last time that I played Bind, I killed 33. Ooh, it was like a Navi. So I will kill 150.
165, bro.
Ooh, it's good, bro. What a great.
Red Bull gives you wings.